Hi guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about the editor window in Unity. In Unity we have several views that we can use when we create a game. Over here on the left is the hierarchy view. The hierarchy view shows you what game objects you have in a given scene. In Unity, a scene really corresponds to a level. Now, you can obviously switch levels or create new levels. The hierarchy view will show you all the game objects in your level, in a given level. Down below that, to the lower left here, we have the project view. The project view contains all of your assets. That could be files, imported elements, textures, all kinds of good stuff. The difference between what the project view holds and what the hierarchy view holds is that in the project view, everything in there has a file attached to it or is itself a file. And also, in the project view, all of the assets for the entire game are held. Over on the right, we have the inspector view. Really, we don't see anything in our inspector view right now. But if we go over to the hierarchy view and click on one of the given game objects, like the main camera or the direct light, then we see in the inspector there are lots of different things that we can change about the game object. Each game object has several components. We can add components to a game object, as you can see down here. We'll do that later. Every game object for sure has something called a transform component. That designates the position, the rotation, and the scale of the object in the next view, which is called the scene view. The scene view helps us to see where we have all of our game objects in our editing window. Along with the scene view is the game view. Once we get our game going, we can look at how it looks in game mode by clicking on the game view. Now, another thing that's not really a view but is helpful is the toolbar. The toolbar will help us do certain things with game objects, which we'll get into in a little bit. Alright? The last thing I want to say about the views is that Unity allows you to configure the views in a variety of ways that you want. You can go with the 2x3 layout, a 4 split layout, a tall layout, or back to the default layout. You can also move one view on top of another. Here I'll move the hierarchy view down to the bottom. Now this gives me a different layout for my workspace. It's all in what you prefer. To be honest with you, I prefer the default layout, so that's what I'll use right now. By the way, if you do find a layout that you really like, you can save it and give it a name, and the next time it will appear in this list of layouts for you to use.